Okay.
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 Yeah. All right. Well, hey, here we are, Ghoul Capone Pictures, the three co-founders. That's us. Um, I think we should all introduce ourselves. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Take it away, Nessie. You're the oldest.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Hi, I am Nessie Stafford. She, they. I am one of the three co-founders of Ghoul Capone Pictures. I do some live performance comedy from time to time. Trained in clowning, I've done improv, the occasional stand-up, that kind of thing, as well as, the whole filmmaking thing. I've been doing a lot of screenwriting lately. Made a couple shorts that we will discuss soon enough. And, well, if I'm not doing any of the above, you can probably find me at the movies.
I'm Nolen Sternkopf, he, him, another co-founder of Ghoul Capone, if you can believe it. I am also a filmmaker. That's kind of it. That's kind of all I do, but that's okay. I like to write and direct, and occasionally act if people ask me to. And I used to do improv with Nessie. But yeah, so that's kind of it for me.
And then I'm Drew Crosby, he, him, third co-founder of Ghoul Capone Pictures. Like these two, I do a lot of different things within filmmaking. So writing, directing, acting, editing. I've ended up doing some producing just because we kind of have to produce our own stuff at the micro budget level that we've been at thus far in our careers. But yeah.
And I guess what we're going to do here today to kind of give a breakdown is we thought it'd be good to document our history together. We've been making things together for many years now, and our memory, I think, is only going to get worse regarding especially the early stuff. So I thought it'd be good to go down a list of like truly everything. The things we got made, the things we started to work on and never finished, and just kind of have a recorded history of it. And hopefully it's at least somewhat entertaining for other people also, if they're interested. I guess we should probably start at the beginning, if nobody has any qualms with that. And Nessie, do you want to, because you're kind of the start, because I think you were interested in filmmaking before the rest of us. So how does this begin from your perspective?
I suppose that's true, yeah. I met you, Nolen, first, and then Drew joined us a little bit later, but not too much later. But Nolen, I think you and I met, if I'm not mistaken, we met in the highly reputable organization we were both part of, the Boy Scouts of America, if I am not mistaken. We were in the same school district, but we were a year apart. They got like sixth graders through high school seniors hanging out in the same patrols and shit in the Boy Scouts. So like that's when we started hanging out. And I think we bonded specifically over, maybe there were some other things that we were already friendly first, but we bonded specifically over The Walking Dead, I remember. You were reading the comic first, and that got me into it, but I was, like, real interested in filmmaking stuff, and, like, I was trying to get you involved and maybe, like, making something. I remember teaching, I was senior patrol leader at one point, and I had to run, like, a merit badge class, and I did try and teach everyone the filmmaking merit badge, just so I could get it myself, because I wanted to do it. Most people were not into it, but, like, it was fun. For me...
That's funny. I don't remember that. Was I part?
You might not have been there.
Did I partake?
It was a
No,
camp.
that was when you went to that ghost.
The ghost
right?
town.
I was not there. I remember you telling me about it though. It sounded cool.
The resulting film was pretty much unwatchable, and I don't think ever made it online.
What is that?
I think that guy's dead.
It was bad. It was like an attempt at a slasher, but like I hadn't really even seen any slashers yet at this point in my life.
From your perspective, you were inventing a genre.
Yeah, well, I knew slashers existed. So it was just like, the camera's gonna be running around, and there's gonna be blood, and like, it was fun to make, but the footage was not cohesive.
Like Pink Floyd said, it's just another brick in the wall.
So yeah, I did that, and then I think I wanted to keep on filming stuff on my own, and like clearly most of these Boy Scouts were not going to be there to help me out with that stuff, but you were interested in this type of thing too, so I was like, hey, let's collaborate on something. And then it was, I think, our fondness for the Walking Dead comics, which we both loved at the time and would constantly talk about. And, like, even a couple campouts. I remember, like, doing live readings with, like, several of the boys just, like, crowded around a book and, like, flipping through, like, the Walking Dead compendiums we would borrow from the school library.
I think,
if I'm not mistaken.
I owned some of them.
You did own
some.
And
I remember we were at a camp where it was... a few of us were in a tent and we were reading the comic. I think I was just like reading it out loud to you guys. I think that was when I introduced you to the comic, actually. That was fun.
I think so. So that was a blast, and it was also around the same time in history that, like, The Last of Us, the first video game, had come out. I don't even know if I had purchased it yet, but I was definitely, like, probably watching Let's Plays of it on YouTube. And then eventually I got it and played it for myself. So, like, the whole zombie craze, it was going on. We were in it. We were into it.
It was a golden era for zombies.
Yeah, that led to our first attempt at a film, I believe, which is Dead Among Us, a zombie story of our own, very much in the vein of The Walking Dead and The Last of Us. One could say a knockoff of The Walking Dead or The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, we didn't really, to my memory, we didn't do anything to, like... really have our own spin on the genre. I think we were just like zombies, but we're the characters, and so all the characters are like middle schoolers. And that's not really.
But they like have guns and machetes and stuff, and they're just walking around like a typical Survivor gear. But yeah, they are middle school age, coincidentally. Also, I think we were like siblings or something that got separated at birth, or separated in the apocalypse. That old hack trope.
Yeah, you were the villain. Yeah, you were like my estranged brother who went insane.
That's right, yeah. I think the character that I was playing was like heavily inspired by the governor from The Walking Dead. I think we were even leaning more into the comics than the show, because the show did something a little bit different with that character. Which also reminds me, one Halloween, Nolen and I, you both went as the governor from The Walking Dead alternate versions. I was the comic one and you were the show one. I think unplanned. I don't think we coordinated.
It was unplanned. We had no idea until we both showed up at school.
We weren't allowed to wear eye patches at school for our costumes, but we did anyway. That was great.
Yeah. So the main thing I remember about Dead Among Us, I think I was in the 8th grade, and you would have been a freshman in high school at that point. So we weren't even going to the same school.
About right.
I think I started writing it with you just like coming over to my house or something, and it was supposed to involve a couple of our friends. And we wrote the whole script, and we thought it was great. I still have the script. It's very bad. But what's prominent about it is we did film a decent amount of it. We never finished it. But we filmed a decent amount of it.
The computer I was using at the time to edit stuff, that computer is in my parents' garage. So I will have to boot the old thing up and see if there's anything there. There might be.
That would be amazing. I know we had edited and released a trailer, but it got deleted off of YouTube because that was before we were smart enough to unlist things. We just deleted things. But yeah, we did shoot a fair bit of it. I remember having a lot of fun doing it, but never got finished for whatever reason. We were children, so we just didn't see it through to the end.
That happens with projects. That happens with adult projects all the time too. Yeah. Like freaking Justice League Mortal. I don't know why that's the example that came to my head, but where's that, George Miller? Yeah. George Miller does this a lot, so I think the less projects we finish, the better, because we're following in his footsteps.
We're gonna be like him.
Except for the embracing AI stuff that he's been doing recently. First, fuck AI of the recording. We'll have a lot of those.
This might come up.
Fuck AI counter.
Yeah, let's put that up. Okay, so that was Dead Among Us. It was cool. If we find any footage, we'll put it up. But people always thought that if a so-called zombie apocalypse were to happen, it would be an army of all mankind together against the hordes of undead. But that's just not how these things work. In this world, we live among the dead, and the dead among us.
It all happened within the first few weeks of the outbreak. It was me, Nolen, and my parents all alone together. Our neighbor Jean was with us at first, but she didn't last 4 days. Anyway, after we had been surviving for a little while, I decided to go to the nearby gas station to look for food in the store. I found a box of Pop-Tarts and a jar of pickles. It wasn't much, but it was enough to last us a while longer.
See any other survivors lately?
None that are still alive.
I still don't understand how you managed to survive with just the things on you.
You really like your small talk, don't you?
Seriously, no bag or anything? You just find food on the go and eat it?
Yep, that's about right.
Can you believe this guy? That was our first, Nessie and my first foray into filmmaking, but at a different middle school in the same town. Drew, what are you up to?
What am I up to in middle school? Oh, God. I was very reserved. Drawing was kind of my main thing at that point. I wasn't really a part of any like team activities or anything like that. But outside of school, my younger brother and I would make our own movies, which kind of started from just having one of these old flip cameras. I guess before anything else, we kind of just ran around the house playing around and improvising. We did a lot of improv. To us at the time, it was really just playing pretty much. We would film these like comedy sketches basically that we'd just make up on the fly. And then I would use iMovie to do a little bit of like basic editing, really just putting a couple of clips next to each other and adding music and maybe a title or two. So yeah, we did a bunch of just kind of random stuff just for us. And the more we did that, the more I would get into the headspace of directing. Because a lot of times he would end up kind of being the actor. When we got to the point of me starting to like write a little bit more, B-Channel News was a big one we did where my brother Braden was this guy named Bob who ran a news channel.
Hello, I am Bob. Welcome to B-Channel News. Happy Thanksgiving from the Caribbean. See you in another 7 years, Ma and Pa. They really do care.
I think we did some pretty funny stuff, even though it's probably mostly just like incomprehensible.
I'll have a mocha.
We don't have mochas.
Okay, I'll have a hot chocolate.
We don't have hot chocolate.
Well, guess I'll have a water.
Nope.
What do you people have?
Let's see here. Looks like we've got some shampoo.
Okay, guess I'll go with that.
Around this time, I remember you and I, Nessie, were at our friend's like 4th of July party, and you were telling me about like a film company / comic company that you wanted to get going called Metalcorn. And I think this is around the time we were shooting Dead Among Us. Like, I don't want to say it was like the same summer. And I was like, that sounds cool. I want in, and then I made a logo for it.
What I think people have to understand is like it was 2013, so like, so yeah, having a cringy unicorn-based name for your production company, that was the choice that a 13-year-old would make in 2013. I don't think it's a good choice in retrospect.
I think a 13-year-old in a world where millennials are driving pop culture at the time.
Yes, millennials are driving pop culture, and Gen X. Like they've got a grip on that. They've brought their nerd culture to the front, and us little kiddies who like goofy movies are embracing it in ways that will later be embarrassing.
Joss Whedon's an icon at this time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. So it was metalcorn, as in like heavy metal unicorn.
I think that was just like the handle username gamertag thing I would use across the board for a while leading up to that. And then I was like, let's simplify it and turn that into something, was I think my thought process. But again, I was 13. I regret it. I apologize for being cringe.
And then that led to you enlisting me to help with it was just like a little film challenge thing. It was called #murder. We don't really need to go into detail on it because it's a big nothing burger. It's very short and not good. But that was technically the first Metalcorn film and the first thing you and I completed together.
Yes. I believe it was like a challenge for, I think, the YouTube filmmaking channel Film Riot. I think they're still active. They might also be incorporating AI into some of their digital effects bullshit, which... Ding! I don't know. They're still around, I think, though. But they were doing, like, filmmaking instructional videos, and they were like, hey, here's a challenge, make an action scene. And, like, these guys are good. They're adults and professionals in at least, like, the indie side of the industry. So, like, people actually submitted with talent and skill and practice. So, like, we didn't stand a chance at this contest at all. But we made something for it, and it got us making something. And maybe 100 people saw it, and that's probably still too many, but it was... It got the ball rolling.
Hashtag Murder was really just a fight scene with a little punchline joke. It was like, again, it was like nothing. But there was Look Ma No Hand. Look Ma No Hand was an actual comedy short film where I accidentally cut off Nessie's hand.
It was a short, it had a script. I remember writing the script for that.
Yeah.
We wrote it together in like a day. We wrote it and shot it the same day,
You came over to my house, we wrote and shot it the same day. And then it was, you edited it later.
This right here is a K-bar fighting knife. These things are awesome. Check this out. Oh my god!
I remember actually being pretty proud of that one at the time. It was, like, we showed it to our friends and they thought it was funny. And we thought it was funny. And you could follow it. It was like...
At the time...
Yeah,
it
was
worked.
All right.
It worked. For a short film made by an 8th grader and a freshman, I think it worked okay.
By then, I may have been a freshman by that point.
Oh, you might have been... Yeah, okay.
The funny thing about our filmmaking journey that might come up a couple times is I feel like everything we were making feels like it should have been made like 2 years earlier in our lives than like what our age was. Like, I was a freshman in high school, but that feels like a film we should have made when I was like a 7th grader. So we were just a little slow to...
We weren't cool. Like, that's the thing. We spent our high school experience making silly little movies with each other. Like, I didn't even know that, like, high schoolers actually did drugs and drank alcohol, like, for real, not just in the movies, until I got to college and everyone already knew what was up. Like,
Really? Oh my god, I thought I was the only one, Nessie. This is
no,
such a
like,
relief.
I figured maybe some did. Like, there were a few kids that, like, oh, the bad kids probably do. But just like, this is normal, like, across the board, we're just losers, was a revelation that took until college to fully wrap my head around.
Okay, so we do Look Ma No Hand. It's just kind of a stupid comedy short. The next thing on the list, which you would be able to speak to a lot more than me, is Magic Drug Dealing, which I remember us trying to film this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We maybe had, like, one or 2 days, but I remember reading your script. You wrote this script, so.
I did. It was a crime script. I think it was inspired by, like, everyone was into Breaking Bad, and I had seen maybe, like, half of season 1 at this point, and I didn't wind up finishing it till college, but, like, this inspired
that.
I
made you
and
watch
I
it
think,
in
like,
college.
maybe... you did, and it's great show. We love Breaking Bad here.
Breaking Bad is amazing, for the record.
It's great show. But I somehow brought Magic the Gathering to my high school. Like, I don't want to take full credit for it, but I kind of do deserve full credit for it because no one was playing it. I was watching YouTube videos about it. It looked fun. I bought a starter pack and, like, I forced this one kid, Xander, to play with me. And then, like, more and more people saw us playing and, like, I tried to force in you guys, but you were not about it.
Yeah, we resisted it the whole time.
But, like, I started this cult of people playing Magic the Gathering. And then maybe after, like, about 6 months to a year, I kind of got bored of it. But, like, it kept going. The rest of the time I was at school, like, the same people were playing Magic constantly. And it's like, they had long surpassed anything that I was willing to, like, learn about the game or invest in. They had built up, like, really impressive decks. And so I didn't stay into it. But I did write this script during that phase. That was about people drug dealing marijuana and secretly using Magic the Gathering as a cover.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god, dude. Jesus, man. Do you realize what this means?
That Joe, he was a druggie.
No, you idiot. Bernie, he's some sort of kingpin. This magic club of his is a gang.
That guy, He thinks this is a motherfucking game?
It was a very, very bad.
It was. I remember it being played like there was comedy to it, but I remember it being played pretty straight. Like it was a crime drama, if I remember correctly. But maybe I'm wrong.
It was a crime drama, I think. In theory, it's just so stupid in retrospect. But yeah, it was a drama. It was about drug dealing. I think there was like an interrogation scene in my garage that got mostly filmed, but then got like interrupted when like people showed up uninvited to my garage and wanted to be a part of it.
It was very annoying.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't just write you it didn't go well. I also remember like raiding my parents' spice rack and like filling up Ziploc baggies of oregano to be the fake marijuana.
Alright, we've got an excellent selection here. We've got coke, crystal meth, we've even got some pot in there. Everything the stoners need.
So yeah, that was an early Magic the Gathering themed crime film that went nowhere. It never got completed, but it was a fun attempt. But I think too many outside variables, and then also me losing interest in the subject probably killed that one.
I'm giving you guys a once in a lifetime opportunity. I give you excellent, high quality drugs to sell for money. You guys get 10% of the share each. So, what do you say?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure, whatever you want. Absolutely. It's fine.
Good. So, you guys ever seen that Netflix original series, Daredevil? Yeah, of course.
That pretty much leads us up to, I think, all of us meeting each other.
Not quite.
Correct?
Not quite.
Not
Close,
quite?
though. Well, maybe. But, first, okay, so Nessie and I bonded over The Walking Dead originally, but Drew, you and I bonded over Pikmin.
Yes.
Because we first met at the GameStop launch for Pikmin 3. And then first day of freshman year of high school, our mutual friend kind of reintroduces us, and we're like, hey, you were at the Pikmin 3 launch. And and then we end up, that was literally day one. That was like lunch on day one of high school.
You my day one, man, for real.
That's right. And then,
Shout out Sawyer Brundage
for
bringing us back together.
Who was also going to be the badass in Dead Among Us, the zombie movie that didn't get finished.
That's right.
So Sawyer's been here since the beginning.
He's made his way into some things. He's the villain of Poop in the Toaster, which we'll get to.
That's true.
Yeah, so Sawyer will be a recurring character.
So it's between Poop in the Toaster and that would be like your
I was exploiting Sawyer.
So freshman year, you and I become friends, Drew, and probably Nessie probably meets you. I don't know, Nessie. Did you meet Drew that first year? You were a sophomore.
I think, if I remember correctly, we maybe bumped into each other a couple times that year.
Nessie, I think the first few times I talked to you were probably like super informal, waiting for the bus. I don't know if you remember this at all.
Right.
But I suddenly remembered today you like talking with my cousin a few times. My cousin.
Yeah,
EJ.
no, I was pals with EJ because we were both in Model UN. Yeah, I would talk to him, and you were there, and you were cousins, still are cousins, presumably. Over the summer between sophomore and junior year, you had a party. I met Drew properly for the first time there, but didn't really know him at that yet. But then the following fall, we were in choir together, and we were like, "Oh, you're from Nolen's thing," and like we bonded and hung out.
That was when Drew was a sophomore and you were a junior, right?
I think so, because I think I only did choir my last 2 years of high school.
So the summer before that, Drew and we've become friends that whole school year, and I'm going into sophomore year after this summer, so I'm going to be doing driver's tests and all that. So will Drew. So we both get enrolled in the same driver's ed class over the summer, and for that class, we have to make a project, so naturally we decide to do a movie, which is the first film Drew and I worked together on. And that was Nolen and Drew's driver's ed.
Yeah.
That's right. Which was basically a series of, like, there was information we were supposed to convey in our project, But in order to do that, we made like parody sketches, basically. Like it was, or like pastiche sketches of different things we liked. But we like made it like a comedic twist where it's incorporating the driver's ed stuff. But there was Back to the Future,
Mad Max, Jurassic Park.
I think we had plans for Star Wars, but it didn't make it. And we were also playing like these weird, bizarre host characters that were just named after ourselves. We were playing with Hot Wheels and stuff.
I remember being Matthew McConaughey for a couple of scenes.
Oh yeah, so it wasn't even just
we parodied
movies.
some commercials.
It was like the Matthew McConaughey Lincoln commercials.
That's right.
I was wearing seatbelts long before they paid me to do it. It wasn't to be cool. It wasn't to make a statement. I just lacked the safety.
Did y'all bring me into this one, or is this a follow-up? Because I know we all made a few, like, school
I think you're in the
videos
Jurassic
together.
Park. I think you're Hammond.
Okay.
Oh, so that would have been an earlier encounter, too.
I think there might be, like, we just taped, like,
A paper
to your
beard?
face to
Yeah,
be a beard.
I remember the beard. That was funny.
Okay, so that was technically the first thing all three of us were on then. Driver's Ed's like summer of 2015.
Which it seemed to be a success, too. The teachers of Driver's Ed liked it a lot, and I believe they ended up showing it at least another summer.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
To other people, because I feel like people that we didn't know at the time eventually, like, came up to us, like, yo, did you guys make, like, this Driver's Ed video thing?
Well, I think our buddy Jack, who was in the video, had some friends who were like neighbors of his that were a year younger, and they did Driver's Ed, and they had like been like, oh, it's Officer, you know, like they recognized him, and
that's wild.
Kind of became like our earliest fans.
Did y'all green screen Mario Kart into the back of?
That's a later school project.
That's a later project. Okay.
I think it has that recurring cop character in it, though, because we introduced Officer Weldon in the Driver's Ed video. And he came back later.
There were future school projects that the three of us would do in various combinations where we decided to make them films because that's what we wanted to do. None of them are on this list because they're like more like school videos. They're not as important to the history, I guess.
It just got down to the point where, like, for all of us independently, if we were in a class and we were assigned a project with some leeway, we would choose to make a video if that was an option.
Yeah.
And then we would just bring all the others in to help out with our video.
Yeah.
And anyone else we know.
Yeah, I mean, it always gave us an excuse to create while using homework time.
Yeah.
Although I think we definitely sunk more time into these than a lot of people were sinking into their projects just because of...
Oh, for sure. Because it was fun.
It was a good way to make like
fun.
a school assignment something we actually wanted to be doing. So we ended up putting more effort into it. So it was a win-win.
And at the end of the day, are any of these still watchable?
No.
Probably not. I do remember, I did go back and watch parts of one not that long ago, and I do remember the bit where we were feeding someone dog food.
Yeah.
To, like, answer questions about the moon, and if we got them wrong, we just fed them some dog food.
Oh my god, that one was crazy.
Eat a dog treat.
Oh my god. This smells like death. It's wet. It's like squishy.
Do it.
What? It's like if beef jerky was just bad. Like, that's pretty much what it is.
There's bits and pieces everywhere, I think, across our entire filmography. Even the stuff that doesn't really, like, hold up. Like, we wouldn't show it to people. It's like, we've always been creative and funny, even when we don't make sense.
Yeah. And we were doing
That
this
is
throughout high
true.
school, so we were progressively getting better and funnier.
Yeah. But we started Rocky.
And then early 2016, this is now Drew and my sophomore year of high school and Nessie's junior year, and it's early 2016. I think it was February. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. It was cold outside. And we did another Nessie script called Bank Robbers.
Yes.
Which is like, all three of us were on Driver's Ed. That was mostly like me and Drew, and then we brought Nessie on for one of the sketches. But this was like the first time like all three of us were really working together on a metalcore thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was not even the first. This is the second after Look Ma No Hand of a formula that I would return to a few times in this era of we don't have any budget, so let's just get two characters having an argument.
The Kevin Smith approach.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this was again. I was watching Kevin Smith movies at the time. This was like when I was getting into Kevin Smith. So I'm sure that had a massive influence. Also, Joss Whedon writing had a massive influence on me at this time. So what I'm trying to say is the stuff I was making in this era is not good. But yeah, this was a short about the two of us returning from a bank robbery that we had just done. Successfully, to our knowledge, and returning home to my parents' living room where we filmed it. But we both just got done with this bank robbery and we're not pleased with each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is Nessie and myself, and
yes.
And then Drew, I think you were doing sound?
You did do
sound. We brought you on?
Wow, yeah.
That was the first time we got Drew to do sound.
This was where Drew was like in metalcore now. So
yes.
I mean, very important event that happened in the course of filming this was the introduction of the pizza guy.
Yeah.
True.
We got our where he came from.
We got our pal Dimitri to play a pizza guy, because like there's a beat where the pizza guy shows up. They think it's the cops, but it's not the cops. They ordered pizza, and I think whoever didn't order the pizza is mad at the other person for ordering the pizza and forgetting or something.
It's just the pizza guy. Wait, when did we order pizza? Like an hour ago, remember? Okay, yeah, see you then. Pizza will be here in about an hour.
An hour? What do you want to do to pass the time?
We could rob a bank.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, a pizza guy shows up, played by our pal Dimitri. And we would keep bringing him back in the same role in so many projects, which we will continue to talk about. But, like, he was a staple.
Yeah, this actually goes into the Ghoul Capone era, which is weird. But it does.
Here you go. Grazie, sempre.
The bridge.
But we'll get there.
Pizza has been a big part of our story for a long time.
It really has.
We're pizza fans. Yeah, there's a whole scene where I'm like just like monologuing while like devouring a pizza. That was fun to shoot.
Standing the Wii U. That's what I think of when I think of bank robbers.
There's like a PS4 versus Wii U argument or something. This is very much a product of its time.
Very much. And us being absolute fucking dorks in high school, which we were.
Don't tell anybody about any of this, okay?
Okay, man. Whatever you say. Whatever.
And then there was more to come, because right after that we tried shooting another script that I think I had written, which was also, I think, an argument between two characters, or a disagreement in the park this time over a budget. It was simply called Budget Meeting. I think it was an obnoxiously, like, meta film about trying to get the budget allocated for the very short that you're watching. It sucks. But we tried to shoot it.
But people liked it, okay? But people liked it.
I hope you remember the reason why I asked you to come here today.
Of course. You asked me to look through our funds and figure out what the budget will be for our next short film.
And?
Got it right here.
Whoa, cool briefcase.
Thanks.
Seriously? That's it?
Oh, no, that's not it. That's it.
But people didn't see it initially because...
Oh, true.
This is the first time we tried to shoot it.
This is our first attempt.
And I think this was like that summer of 2016, maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe
around
it was before
then.
that. We were going to school in Sherwood, Oregon. That's where we're from. And there's a few parks in Sherwood, but there's like two main parks that like we would actually hang out at. And we shot at one of them.
Snyder Park.
It's a very busy park. Snyder Park will make a return later, as will the audio conditions there. But we tried shooting there, and there's like tons of people around, and there's like a guy with like a leaf blower. I feel like the footage was probably fine, but all the audio was totally unusable, I think.
Yeah, it was bad. And now, going back, maybe we could have ADR'd it with what we know now. We could have done a bang-up ADR job, and you never would have even been able to tell. Or you could really tell, and it would feel like an Italian film. But we didn't do that. We kind of shelved it for a while, but we did reshoot it. We can get to that later, I guess.
Another just fun fact, weird connector, is I think we actually had EJ do something.
Yeah.
My cousin for that, too. I don't know if maybe he was doing sound.
That's right. I think so.
You were there. You may have been shooting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nessie and I were the characters in front of the camera. And
Yeah.
the only thing I really remember about that day is like snapshot images of us being on the park bench, like at that park. And then also like the only thing I really remember well is going through the Burger King drive-thru.
I do remember that. The Burger King.
I think
we
this
had
is
a
what it
Burger
was.
King era, and that scares me.
I think the audio was like bad, right? So we're like, let's take a pause, go to Burger King. This was like prime Burger King years. We used to go to Burger King all the time. I don't know why. It's bad.
Like we went inside Burger King.
Yeah, we would hang out there.
We would make the paper crowns and put them on because that was fun.
But during this shoot, I think we took a pause and went to Burger King, hoping the audio would be better when we returned. Like the leaf blower guy wouldn't be there, but it was like worse when we got back or something. Okay, so we shelved budget meeting. That didn't pan out.
So Voice of Nature was next. Also an incompleted one. We had a lot of those in the early days. Someone was lost in the woods, and the trees were talking to them and making tree puns throughout. Just like corny, like, you need to leave here.
Why would anyone ever be afraid of us? Beats me. I'm stumped.
That was the gist, and that's about as much as there was to it. We got the footage we need. I just don't know if we ever fully edited it together or got the recordings of all of the trees.
We got an edit for it. I acted in it, I think. What was happening was the lighting was changing drastically when we were shooting.
That's true.
Because we shot it the same day as PSA, I think. These were two very microscopic shorts that were basically just each a scene. So we did film The Voice of Nature, but I don't think the video looked very good, and it was getting darker and darker, so none of it really matched up. And then I think, I don't know, more than anything, I feel like we might have just got bored of that one after we made it.
Wasn't
I think we kind of made it and we're like,
idea.
Tree later.
We stretched our chops still, it was good practice.
We were challenging ourselves to make something quick and dirty in a day, I think, on top of another quick and dirty thing that we were making in a day, which was PSA, which to this day, I will say, is among the metalcore films I'm still the most proud of. I think it holds up the most. I think it's largely to do with the fact that it has no dialogue, and in this era, that helps a lot, because the dialogue is where a lot of this stuff gets rough. But PSA was fun. It was a reference to the fact that Apple had just changed its gun emoji from a pistol to a squirt gun, and that was a controversy in the news.
What a time.
It was about two people texting, arranging a duel, but one had updated their phone, so they had the squirt gun emoji, and one had not updated their phone, so they did not have that emoji. They had the original gun emoji. So there was a miscommunication. They show up at the duel. One is armed with the gun, one with the squirt gun. The one with the squirt gun is shot and killed. and the person with the real gun, so sad, realizes his mistake.
With, the craziest digital blood effects ever.
Yeah, it's
so
a good... I'm the one who gets shot with the squirt gun. I have blood in my mouth, and I do, a very good, head flying back. I spit out the blood, and, that's one shot. And then we cut back to Drew with the gun, and then we cut back to me, and now it's just, real shitty digital blood just flying.
What reminds me of now is there's a Whitest Kids You Know sketch where Trevor Moore pours a Kool-Aid packet into the ocean, and it's shot, really just, DIY. And then there's this shittiest effect of the whole earth becoming Kool-Aid.
That whole sketch we did is actually very Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah,
it is.
It feels very of the same energy.
We've gotten more into them on a few occasions since, including very recently, but they've always been there as an influence for our generation, I think.
Yeah, I had seen a lot of their stuff just growing up, especially late elementary school and middle school era.
So yeah, it was fun, and then it ends. It's a PSA, a public service announcement that is reminding you to update your iPhone to the new iOS. That's the entirety of what that was about. And honestly, Not too bad. It's all right. I'll go back. I'll watch that one. I'll have myself the good kind of laugh. If any of our stuff from this early holds up, I think that one does especially. Again, that's probably because we didn't talk in it. Because the dialogue that I was writing, particularly in this time, is painful for me to revisit.
And then after that, this is like another year later. Nessie's a senior. Drew and I are juniors.
Oh, Greasy Werewolves. Me and Nessie, we acted in a couple of different shows at Sherwood High School. They were going to do a production of Grease, and we were asked to do a short film version of the kind of, there's a drive-in scene where the characters go to the drive-in and there's like a movie on in the background. And I think most of the time people will do it with just like maybe a projector screen doing light on the actors and then like sound probably. Like they probably just play a sound effect in the background of like werewolves howling or something. But they wanted to use our special talents at the time because they knew that we were filmmakers from a couple of the just random, I think, class projects we had been doing up to that point, probably more than anything. I'm trying to think of what they would have watched and then been like, we should get these guys. Like, I don't know what that would have been, especially not after PSA. Like, I have no idea.
I think people just kind of knew that we did that because that'll be relevant to Nightlights here in a bit too. But
that's true. I guess we weren't ashamed to talk about it, which that's cool.
If we were anything in high school, it was Shameless.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true. That's true.
I'm a little surprised that I was even invited to make the film because, like, I wasn't doing Grease because A, Grease sucks and I didn't want to, but B, because like I had already kind of burned bridges with the theater, or I thought I had in the fall because I pushed back against the censorship of the play that I was the lead in, because they were like trying to keep us from saying like hell and God and bastard as like just like very mild swears throughout. But I was pushing back against that pretty hard, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get cast in the spring musical this year. I better make the most of the fall play while I'm still in it.
You were never not part of the equation though. Like it was always like me and Nessie. Like when she came to me, so like you were still there. You were still part of the thought.
Okay, cool.
Which is cool.
That's good to hear.
But yeah, so we were invited to make a werewolf movie with like, there's a couple of specific pieces of dialogue in the Grease script, I guess, that they usually have read over. So there were like a couple of lines we had to work in. And from that kind of come up with our own movie basically for the rest of that, which was really, really fun because I remember going to just, I think Symposium, like the local coffee shop in downtown Sherwood with Nessie and just like talking over the script, being like, okay, what can we do with that? And I think storyboarding, we might have storyboarded right there as well.
But honestly, it turned out pretty good. And like we had 2 different cuts because they censored one of the cuts. So we made it. It had a gun in it because they're fighting a werewolf and like silver bullet. Like it was all very tastefully done.
That was crazy though, because we had a revolver, like not a real one, but it was a not like an orange tip or anything in the school. And like
we just bring it to
that was like a big no-no, like even back then. Like dating back to when we were much younger than that, you could not bring even like an obvious toy gun to school because obviously we've been alive in the whole post-Columbine era where these things happen a lot, and you could be like expelled for having a toy gun.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like
oh yeah, we knew. I think Nolen snuck it in.
No, it wasn't mine. I remember thinking about it when we were shooting. I think it was like actually the prop departments or something.
Oh,
and because of that, I thought, oh, it must be okay. But nobody was supervising us. We just had it.
Yeah, we were
in the school.
Yeah,
we were just doing whatever we wanted with it. Yeah, and like even at the time, I was like, damn, I guess this is allowed. But like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
and then
but eventually
they
it
censored
wasn't.
it, so we didn't get in trouble or anything. But they censored it.
After we did full storyboards, we did like a full test shoot day so that we could run through everything with the actors, not in costume and not on location, because we wanted to do it in the quote unquote woods, which are just next to the school. And I wanted to get approval on everything before we actually shot the thing, you know. And so that had the gun in it. We had gotten what we thought was clearance for the like test film. And then they were like, no, we can't have the gun. But that wasn't until after we shot the full movie.
So we had to cut it down. The cut down version makes a little less sense because I think the lines given were like, they're very vague. And when we were writing our version of this thing, like we went to great lengths to justify it, to make it into a cohesive short film that you could watch and make sense. Which I think is pretty impressive because it would have been very easy just to have people running around and then the lines come out and there's a werewolf and like it doesn't go together. But we were like, no, this is going to have beats. It'll have a beginning and middle and end. Maybe it's part of a larger movie, but we're going to imply what that movie is. Like we were trying to make it good, and like I think it did turn out good, but it turns out less good when you cut it down and censor it.
People did like it a lot, though. We got a lot of comments about it. A lot of people coming up to us afterwards and being like, "That was so cool." So that was a pretty darn cool opportunity. Because I mean, technically, that was maybe one of our first screenings, maybe the first screening.
Technically, yeah.
So it was pretty surreal in that regard.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the director's cut did a little bit better on YouTube. So hopefully, at the end of the day, anyone who wanted to revisit it saw the better version of it, and like, it's out there. That's the version I would watch.
Nessie is saying, go seek it out.
If you're gonna seek it out, seek out the director's cut, because that's the true cut. That's what we were trying to make before. Is this our first example of studio interference?
It is.
Yo, it totally is.
It totally is. Oh man.
Unless you count the random person being brought on set by somebody.
Not how we do business.
Yeah, that's act of God. Actually, no, I have to remember the person involved. Act of Satan, yeah.
Look, Sheila. The full moon sinking behind Dead Man's Curve.
Yes, Lance. And with it, all of our dreams.
So, Greasy Werewolves, after this we take an immediate nosedive into Bonehead. Our first attempt at a 48-hour film festival.
This is a main culprit, I think, in our early dialogue not being the strongest.
Kill her already. No. I'm tired of being controlled.
So this is July of 2017, and Nessie and I have just watched the entire Evil Dead trilogy for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an earth-shaking experience, the aftershocks of which are still felt to this day.
Yeah, formative in who we are as people and as filmmakers, for sure.
Yes.
Like, that's a big one.
But the initial effect, our inexperienced first attempt at a 48-hour film festival, is not very desirable. But yeah, it was just like the 48-hour film challenge that you could sign up for anytime, like the online version. We got to choose our genre, I think, because I think we were like set on doing horror comedy like the whole time.
I think so. I forget what our prompt was, but we had 48 hours to write, shoot, and edit it.
We had a line of dialogue that was "Will it harm us?"
Yeah,
which Dimitri, our friend Dimitri again, he had the hardest time giving that one line.
Yeah, I remember he kept turning it into a name.
Will it harm us? Okay, just will it harm us?
Not like
will it harm us?
Now it's going into will it harm us?
Will it harm us?
You want me to say that?
Just say it.
I mean, he was goofing around.
Dimitri was very goofy on that shoot, and well, okay, so yeah, we originally were going to shoot during the night.
That's right.
It's 48 hours.
We were completely unprepared.
Oh, yeah, we never done a night shoot before, so it's 48 hours. We get our thing. We spend the first day writing it, and then we're gonna shoot it that night. So we enlist people, and we go into the forest across the street from my parents' house to film, my neighbor's forest, and we do not have adequate light gear at all, so you can't see anything, and everything's going wrong, and the hours are ticking by.
We tried to get a generator working, and the voltage something was just completely wrong for what we needed.
And then our crew's freaked out because we're all skittish high schoolers in the woods at night, and I keep making comments about cougars and the animal, not the and then like escape prisoners. And I remember at least one of our friends, Jay, was like getting sketched out by it, and we had to scrap that shoot that night. And
we did,
but we didn't give up.
We're tomorrow morning we're coming back out here, and now it takes place during the day.
Yeah, and we decided this at like midnight. Sorry, folks, we thought we were doing a night shoot. It's midnight. Go home, get some sleep, be back here at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. even. Not the nicest thing to do to your crew.
Mm-mm. But people came back very nicely.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dimitri was being very goofy, so it took a long time to shoot. I'm not blaming it on Dimitri. It's just that was one of the things I remember being funny.
We were already, like, planning stuff with Dimitri for, like, more Pizza Guy cameos, I think, and other things. And, like, I think for a minute, he was fine on other things that we shot later. But I think after Bonehead, for a minute, I was like, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if we can, I don't know if this guy's got what it takes.
No. You had doubts.
I did. He later proved me wrong. Though we never got to make his magnum opus, but we'll get to that later.
Sorry, I'm eating spaghetti, by the way. Everybody gets to see it. Normally people pay me for this kind of content.
Do not apologize for your spaghetti.
The Nolen Sternkopf spaghetti mukbang.
It's here, free on Ghoul Capone. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. That film's that one's hard to go back to. Like, but it was our first like real. Well, Dead Among Us was our first attempt at horror, but this was like us getting back into it, which we kind of stuck with. And I remember some of it was really fun. Like, there's a scene where I'm like smashing a monster. There's a talking skull, but then there's also just like a random Halloween mask monster that my little brother played.
Jerry.
And there's a scene where I'm like smashing its head with... I
think it might have been an axe, because you stabbed into like a bunch of meat and almost puked.
Yeah, so it's like we've been shooting, I'm tired, it's really hot out because it's July, and the thing I'm going to be hitting off screen is like a watermelon that we put like raw meat into, like ground meat, and then somebody was also like off camera with a squirt bottle full of fake blood, which because it's hot outside is like really warm. I'm like smashing this thing and there's blood like drenching me, which was fun, but it was warm blood and it smelled so gross because of the raw meat, and like everything was just awful. So I remember like I almost threw up afterwards.
The spray is coming from like completely the wrong direction.
Yeah, the wrong direction. It doesn't look good, but at the time we thought
it felt really cool. It felt really cool.
It was cool to cover someone in blood though. That was like playing with blood has been. I mean, if you're on set and you get to play with blood that day,
we love it.
You're having a good day.
Yeah, and the blood actually I think I was mistaken. It was not in a spray bottle. It was in like a super soaker.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I got footage of just spraying all of y'all in the face with the super soaker as like test footage.
The best thing about summer is always the squirt gun fights. Oh, whoops! That's not water at all. It's blood.
So yeah, that was Bonehead. We did not win the 48-hour film festival. Don't know how that happened.
But again, we're trying stuff. We're making stuff. So it keeps the ball rolling.
Yeah. So now it's 2017 still. We decide to return to budget meeting. We have not forgotten that was not completed. So we shoot it again.
It was such a groundbreaking idea. It had to be done.
All right. So what about cameras? How should we film this?
Well, maybe we could have a camera set up somewhere over there for some of the main shots.
Yeah, that could work. I like it.
I mean, we'd obviously need a few different angles and stuff.
All right.
So we could have a shot of me saying something funny.
And then cut to a shot of me saying something equally funny.
Then maybe cut to a close-up of me.
Maybe throw a couple wide shots in there. We moved to a different park, and it was fine. Like, we shot it pretty quick. It went all right. My dad liked it. I think he still occasionally brings it up. Like, when are you going to make something like that again? And I'm like, I don't know. What?
It's a question we're all asking. That's pretty good.
That is one that sticks with them for some reason. But, I don't know, it's fine. For the time, it works. It might have been more impressive if we got it the first time. But, it's alright. Alright, so if we're going to make this a comedy, how do we make it funny?
Well, there's two of us, so maybe I could be the funny guy.
Alright.
And you could be the straight guy.
That's ironic.
What?
What?
It just sounded like you were trying to tell me something.
No, nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to back us up a little bit again, because I think it would be a crime to not talk about Skylar Smith, who in this era became one of our greatest collaborators and is to this day. Looking at our list, technically, the first time we worked with Skylar on a project was Greasy Werewolves. She just played like an extra that died.
Yeah.
But when it came to getting around to Bonehead and budget meeting, at that point she was very much like part of our crew.
Yeah, she was fully in the cast in Bonehead, right?
Main part of Bonehead for sure. And just around for the whole like ideation process and stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, we were all like hanging out together. Writing it together, I think. At least we were all in the room together.
Yeah, definitely. Because Skylar was with us when we all watched Evil Dead. But yeah, so Skylar was there for all of that and was in Bonehead as a main character.
Excuse me? What are you doing here?
Hiking. What about you? What are you doing here?
Name's Bella Wood. I manage the Oakwood Realty business. We're here to inspect an old house that we're trying to sell.
Yeah, because her and I started dating a little bit before this, and she immediately jumped in on all of our filmmaking stuff, like full force, and was great and everything, and still works with us to this day, of course. And now we're engaged. She's also right off camera here, looking at me. Skylar, come make a cameo.
Skylar, get in frame.
She says hi from off camera.
Hi, Skylar. We love you, Skylar.
Hello. Oh, there's an arm.
Yeah, okay. That's all you get. You have to go watch the movie. You gotta go watch Bonehead if you want to see Skylar.
She's in a lot of other good stuff, too.
No, you have to watch Bonehead. But yeah.
Night Lights.
Night Lights. This was a big one. I wasn't super involved in this. I think, had I left for college at this point? Was this in the fall when I was at San Francisco? Because I don't remember being heavily involved.
You have a cameo, though.
I do have a cameo.
We shot this... Oh, you were probably back on winter break. Yeah, so what happened was Drew and I were approached by a classmate who was also interested in filmmaking.
Yeah, Aaliyah Jacobs, right?
Yep. And she was hosting, or involved with hosting, a talent show, like a local Sherwood talent show at the New Performance Arts Building, which is, at the time had just opened up. This is 2017, early in our senior year of high school. Drew in my senior year. Like Nessie said, she was at college at San Francisco State for her first year.
College.
Woo! But they were like, hey, we're doing talent show. You guys, I know, make films. Would you like to make a film? And we didn't have anything planned at this point, but we were like, yeah, let's come up with something. So Drew and our friend Jack and I went to my house and just started like brainstorming. And I was big into supernatural stuff, so we ended up coming up with like an alien story, and it just kind of came to us all at once. I remember our friend Jack was like, hey, it should be a period piece, and we were like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we set it in the early 60s. So this was our first attempt at a period piece. We shot this at Jack's grandma's house, starring the three of us. Yeah, all three of us were the main characters, or the three of us being Jack, me, and Drew. And then Nessie came back for winter break at some point.
Yeah, I filmed a cameo, like, I was on the news as, like, a crazy farmer or something, was my vibe.
Yeah, and Skylar was interviewing you. Were you holding a chicken?
Mm-hmm. I was holding a chicken. I was holding one of the Sternkopf family chickens.
Does this new photo hold any truth, or is it just a hoax? I'm here with the man who captured the photo to find out. Tell us, what phenomenon exactly did you experience here, Mr. Nate?
Well, I was just out here men in the field as usual when I saw something strange up in the sky over yonder. It was all shiny and whirling around and just hovering there. So I says to Becky, I says, Ma, get the camera!
I don't know if I'd held a chicken before that, so that was a fun experience. Got to hold a chicken.
That one felt like a step up at the time. Like, you watch it now.
It was.
You know, kind of like, But at the time, it was like...
Still...
narratively and structurally, and also just kind of like how it was made. I think it felt like us.
Yeah, even technically
evolving. I was proud of that one.
I would say so.
And
very good Raimi inspiration there as well.
Yeah,
lots of Evil Dead in that one.
There's some shots that are just stolen from Evil Dead. The ending is like very Evil Dead.
But I think it has more influences than that for sure. Like it definitely kind of has a Spielbergian Amblin type of feel to it. There's clear influence from that genre coming in, as well as just like classic UFO movies. It was definitely trying to play into that niche pretty well, and I think it did a good job. For the time, especially, like, y'all nailed it. I remember being very impressed when I saw it. Like, okay, we're getting into it now. We're starting to make stuff that's like And it did pretty well. It played at the film festival and got quite a few hits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that one was cool because we did the talent show that it was originally conceived for and won, I think, second place, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's third.
All right, the second place winner. I kind of feel like we're doing The Sound of Music or something. The second place winner is Night Lights. That would be Drew and Nolen. Look at that.
Then there was, I don't even know how we got involved with it, but there was another talent show in Tigard we did. And that one was like bougie. They had like a whole charcuterie, like snack table that we just had access to. And it was like a bunch of rich
where was
people.
I don't even know what that was. Like, I don't know how we got involved with it at all.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but it was cool. I remember being there and feeling very fancy. And I remember the audience. The cool thing about Nightlights is like, it was our first film aside from Greasy Werewolves, which was like part of a bigger play, but it was the first film that we were just like showing to an audience, just here's the film. And the audience was like reacting to it like in ways that was really satisfying. People would jump at like a jump scare moment, and people would like laugh and cheer. And yeah, there was like, that was the first taste of that, which became very addictive.
What?
Okay, this is it. I'm heading for the shed. Are there any tools in there?
I mean, it's a shed. I think we showed it at another like high school talent show in Sherwood.
And we're going to tell you a little bit about how this idea came about before we get started. So we sat down to brainstorm what we were going to make, and we thought we want to make something that's a little bit more personal, deep, and just relatable than anything we've made before.
By the end of our brainstorming session, we decided to make a movie about aliens, obviously. So we got a little off track, but we don't regret it at all.
We hope you have just as much fun watching it as we did making it. And if you guys want to check out more of our work or watch this film again, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Metalcorn Productions. It's like unicorn, but metal. Thank you. Thanks.
Aliens. Now take a moment to look to your person on your left and to your right. Then ask yourself, are there aliens among us?
And then the very first festival I ever submitted to was the McMinnville Sci-Fi Film Festival. I submitted it to that. It won first place. I remember we were pretty shocked because there were some films that were of a higher production caliber there. And that was very, very exciting at the time. Our first little festival win. So that was pretty cool.
You got featured in the paper a little bit for that too, I think.
Oh yeah, my mom like reached out to the Sherwood Gazette or something, and they ended up interviewing me.
That's pretty cool.
So it was like, it felt like we had a little tour and we had some press. It was all very small potatoes, but at the time we were like, damn.
It was the biggest thing we'd done so far, though. It was definitely like, it felt like a change.
Yeah.
And it was. It was a step in the right direction.
I think there's like a few eras in our filmmaking saga, and this is like the start of like the phase 2. We've gone to the next level a little bit.
Time to make a scene.
Very next summer, I directed Officers of the Deceased, which was an idea I came up with during senior year of high school and wrote, and then we filmed it that summer. I wanted to do like a Men in Black thing. I wasn't trying to rip off RIPD. I was aware that existed, but I think our take was different. But
it was different.
I was like, I love Men in Black, I love Ghostbusters, so I was like, oh, let's do my own version of that kind of. There's like an organization dealing with supernatural things, but my twist was like the organization is the ghosts.
It was an alright idea.
Whoa, hey. Good evening. I'm Deputy Leonard Oswald, and this is Deputy Travis Gibson. We're officers of the deceased.
Officers of the what? The deceased, flesh bag. You know, like dead people.
This one's not very good, but it was fun to make, and the filmmaking maybe also like had a little bit of an upgrade, like from a technical standpoint. I think Nightlights is better though.
Yeah, it's still on that higher level though that like Nightlights ushered in. Like it definitely feels post Nightlights. I mean, it was a full 20-minute short like narrative story that was like about characters and stuff. There's a full arc and everything. Like
there was a very good performance from our classmate who was in a play with us named Bradley, and he was the villain, and his performance is actually really good.
You think you can stop me?
I've evaded cops far more capable, far more qualified than you. You're nothing, nobody. I'm going to end you! Hey, Blondie. You have the right to remain silent.
Oh, it was also the first time I had music done by Nick Nip, who I still love to work with, because Nick's awesome. He's a great composer. And even back then, he was like, that was like early for him, but he made like really memorable themes for the characters. Like, he was always really good. So yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that starred Drew and Jack, both from Nightlights, and Skylar. It was the Nightlights gang again.
Pizza Guy showed back up. He
Yeah,
had a cameo.
Pizza Guy appearance.
This is the first return of Pizza Guy since Bank Robbers.
One of his most iconic
Yeah.
appearances, I think.
In another Evil Dead moment, yeah, he shows up and
Yeah, he shows up, or does he?
Or does he? That's true.
I got a large pepperoni here from Dimitri's Pizza.
Dimitri's Pizza? That's like the most expensive place they could have ordered from. All right, how much is this gonna be?
Well, actually, I don't accept cash, but I do accept souls.
So Officer Deceased once again won McMinnville Sci-Fi Film Festival, which was weird. It was like barely sci-fi. I remember feeling kind of weird about that win because I was like, I don't know if we should have even qualified.
That's the thing. If ghosts are real in any capacity, then it's sci-fi. If they're fake, then it's fantasy. So that's just up to you to determine the genre. Are things falling over randomly for no good reason? Must be ghosts. Is stinky, smelly, slimy ectoplasm appearing out of nowhere? Ectoplasm again? Must be ghosts. I think the other thing that, like, Nightlights and then now this, these were the first films we were making that were really telling, like, full narrative stories. The 3-act structure that we, like, eventually became our bread and butter that's hard for us to lead. Like, to us, these were mini movies. Whereas some of the older ones, it's like, most of them probably could be better described as sketches, starting with Nightlights and then into Officer Deceased. It's like, these are movies. Short and of clearly made by high schooler quality, but, like, they're movies now.
Yeah, we started using very much like the feature film structure in short format.
We love that 3-act structure.
It's a good one.
Yeah, Officers Deceased. It was one. I actually finished it in college, I guess is worth noting, because we shot it the summer after we graduated high school. And then I went to college at San Francisco State. I joined Nessie there. And I finished it while in college.
Yeah, I remember you editing it, like, all the time.
Yeah. So, that was a fun one.
Premiere. It's the premiere. Hello. Hello.
It's Nick Nip. Nick Nip.
That is Nick.
Hello.
This is really cool. There's a lot of you. Love you too, Nick. Yeah, thank you so much. So, this has been in production. I think I wrote this script about a year ago now, so it's kind of been the longest thing we've ever worked on. But it's done, and it's pretty cool, I think. And a lot of you here worked on it, and I appreciate all of you to death. You guys made this thing pretty cool, I think. And those of you who didn't work on it, thank you for coming. I'm really glad you could make it. Made it a bit more of an event, which is awesome.
The Oregon Independent Film Festival won Best Horror, but then I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I wasn't there. I think you guys went. Like, Drew, you went, right?
Yeah, I went. Yeah. Skylar went.
Bradley went, I think.
Bradley.
Probably
maybe
Jack.
A couple of other people in the movie.
I heard it won Best Horror, and I was like, whoa, that was unexpected. And then I was like looking at the festival programming, and I was like, oh, there was nothing else that qualified as horror. So that's why.
Hey, a laurel is a laurel.
It's kind of impressive that in Oregon at a film festival, even a very small one, there were no other horror movies. Because horror has like become a very big thing here the past several years, it feels like.
We were part of that.
It wouldn't have been done without Officers of the Deceased, guys.
Yeah, that started the trend, I think.
We brought horror to Portland.
Yeah.
What film scholars still look at.
Yes! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Whoa! Yes!
This is ridiculous.
And then this next project happened, Drew?
Lint. That's one that kind of like slips through the cracks for me a lot. But I think we filmed a couple of days at my aunt's house. EJ's mom. There is EJ again. Shout out EJ. But that was for Not exactly the same as the 48 hour that we did for Bonehead, but it was a similar kind of thing, specifically hosted through Regal, because I was working at Regal at the time, and they had some kind of internal competition for employees. But we made a short film that was also kind of Evil Dead inspired a little bit. There's a couple of shots in there. Like, again, we have a very Evil Dead ending shot.
And we watched Evil Dead a lot in high school. Like, I think we watched it, and then, like, we brought you into it, Drew. My senior year of high school, y'all's junior year, I think there were, like, 3 Evil Dead marathons in 1 year.
I think that happened in my senior year, too, because I remember showing up at like, Jack all of them, and, like, I just, like, kept watching them, and then I went to college, and then you and I would watch them. And that's
we would keep watching them there.
They're
some of the best movies.
I watched them this October. Like, yeah, it's basically a yearly tradition at minimum at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They're better every time you watch them, too.
Yeah.
So good.
That's true. They grow on you. I liked them the first time. Each subsequent watch, I got more and more into it. It's like, why do I keep revisiting it? Oh, because it's fucking great. They're just great movies.
Absolutely.
Big fan.
So we definitely used some of that in Lint again, as we continue to do with all of our movies. But that one was about 2 roommates who are fed up with each other.
Oh, this moody racket again. Let me play something different this time, Jerry.
It's Jerome, but okay, fine. Show me something new.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait until you get a load of this.
I ride up on
All
the tractor
right.
all day long. Everything I have to say is right
No,
here in
no,
the song
no!
that I
That is the last straw, Peter. Wait, you can't appreciate the classics, man?
And one of them starts producing monsters from his belly button. His belly button lint turns into a monster.
Still a crazy concept. I mean, this was like a Drew Crosby. I didn't even know
It's a
belly
good
button lint was a
concept.
thing at the time. I've since discovered it. I remember I was like, what? That's a thing? And you're making it into a monster? It was crazy.
Whenever I get a new job and they give us these cheap fucking uniform shirts, those shirts make lint like crazy inside my belly button. The shirts I buy on purpose, they don't do it. The ones that you get from a job that you gotta wear as a uniform, Lint City first couple of weeks.
So very bizarre idea. I don't know. Every once in a while I think about that and I'm like, man, that was such a weird idea. I feel like I should do something else with it. Like the idea of belly button lint monsters. I feel like those need to come back in some way at some point.
That could be your Jaws.
It's a thoroughly unexplored market, belly button lint. So there's something there.
And we have the copyright.
Yeah.
If anybody makes a belly button lint movie, we're coming for your ass.
We own
We're
it.
coming for everything. Just so the world is clear. That's ours.
That starred Nolen and our friend Gavin.
I remember it was fun to shoot. There was some nifty special effects he had in it that were kind of new for us, too.
That's true. Ben Kroon, special effects. Megan Weiner also did some help on the special effects, which we hadn't done a lot of like CG stuff, but here and there, a couple of things. And that was one of our first uses of that outside of the fake blood in PSA, maybe.
Officers of the Deceased had some electricity effect that Ben also did. I think that was our first time working with Ben on the special effects.
Yeah, Ben Kroon's he's been a mainstay with us for quite a long time. We definitely brought him on after Nightlights because there were a couple of things we did on Nightlights that weren't as strong as they could have been. Ben was one of our buddies who was like, come on, guys, I could have helped you with that and it would have been no problem.
Yeah, and we were like, whoop.
So we listened to him, though, and we've had him back pretty much ever since.
He's been an asset.
This one goes out to Ben Kroon.
So I joined Nessie in college at San Francisco State, and that's where this next film comes from, is what you were up to over there.
Oh, is it Baby Psycho time? All right. This is, obviously, my whole childhood making little silly movies, and then up through, like, the metalcore era so far that we've been talking about. Like, that was me getting my hours in, learning the tools of the trade and all that, and, like, that's definitely an experience that is super valuable. But Baby Cycle is the first one of the films that I have made that I'm like, yeah, I did something there. That is a movie that's the Nessie Stafford movie right there. I'm proud of it. Here you go, world. Here's a movie by me. I would say that's the first of that era. It was fun. So the way that this worked, we were in a class San Francisco State Cinema major. Second year, you get put into like the big first film class, and it's this massive lecture, but then in addition to the lecture, you're put into these small little labs of 20 people, and in that lab, you're going to make 4 films. You'll be split into 4 little groups of 5, and in 4 films are going to get made in that class. And this was the one that I made. You gotta like vote on scripts. Anyone who has a pitch or an idea has to present it to the class. Only if you were going to get chosen. I think I just edged out the votes to get to 4th place. Like, mine almost got cut. But, like, I pitched this idea, just enough people voted for it. Everyone was more interested in the other projects. So, like, the group that came together were, like, the few people who, like, believed in the stupid shit I was doing, or for some of them, the other groups got filled up too fast. They were an agreeable group. They seemed to enjoy the idea. And the idea is, what would happen if you put a baby in a washing machine?
It's a question I don't know has still been answered. Someone in Arkansas probably has figured it out.
For legal reasons, do not try that at home. Don't put your baby in a washing machine, is my advice. But for the film, oh, it turned out great. So yeah, it's a short film about an incompetent babysitter played by me and a real human baby that we flew in from Texas for this film. This was the crazy, because I had no fucking clue how I was going to get a baby. The teacher of this class, it was a student teacher, and he was like, you can't get a baby for this. Do you know a baby? And I'm like, no. so he's like, you can't get a baby. Do something different. He took my storyboards out of my hand and like drew cat whiskers on the baby and was like, make it a cat. And I'm like, I can't make it a cat, because an animal dying in a washing machine, that's not funny. That's cruel. But a human baby, now that's hilarious.
I do think the audience would have turned on you more if it was a cat, actually.
I think so.
You're not even wrong.
I didn't want it to be a cat. That idea was upsetting to me. So I posted on Backstage a casting call. I was like, I can put $100 into this. That's the budget that I'm willing to put into securing a human baby. And sure enough, a family from Texas, a couple with a baby, they replied, and they were like, hey, we're interested. And I was like, cool, I see that you are in Texas. I can give you $100, but I cannot pay for your plane ticket or get you a hotel or anywhere to stay. That's up to you. So, unfortunately, I can just give you the $100. I thought I was sending that message under the guise of, like, sorry, this isn't going to work, and then I'd have to find someone else. But then they were like, that works, that's fine with us. When do you want the baby? So they
forgot
flew
about
out.
that they were from out of state. That's so crazy.
Yeah, out of state. They flew into California. It was just a 1-day shoot that we had the baby. I think we might have shot for like 2 days, but like only one of them was with the baby. And yeah, they were there the whole time, of course, to supervise. We are a bunch of college students who like do not know how to care for a child. You are this guy's parents. Make sure he doesn't die, please. We put a bunch of safeguards in play. Like, we were trying to be as professional and as safe as possible with this. We're a bunch of inexperienced college people trying to make a film with a baby actor. I still remember, because there's this great shot. One of my favorite shots in the movie is the baby in the washing machine, and you, like, see the baby just, like, pounding on the glass lid of the washing machine. And I wanted that shot so bad. But I was like, obviously, I can't actually put the baby in the washing machine. That would be, extremely reckless and dangerous. So I had concocted this entire plan. I got like a sturdy laundry basket, flipped it upside down so it was a nice little sturdy platform. It wasn't going anywhere, and I had someone hold it, and I draped a green screen over that. So I put the baby on that with the washing machine like door open, so it was like 90 degrees away from the machine. The baby's here, and like we filmed through the door, but there was no washing machine behind it. There was just this green screen with the baby sitting on top, and the parents were just like, oh, you can just put him in the washer if for a better shot. And like, no, so we did not put the baby inside the washing machine for real. We shot it the visual effect way that I had planned out. That's what we did.
And it looked great.
The parents would have been cool if we put the baby in the washing machine, and I'm not sure what that says.
I got to be crew on this, and we just shot the inside of the machine separately as like a backplate. You had me put the special effects stuff together in post, I remember, so I got to key that shot together.
And it looks good. It looks really good. But we did put a bunch of meat in the washer for when the washer is opened and the dead baby is found. There's a fun little story about how the dead baby came together. This was pre-Nolen becoming a vegetarian. I think he became a vegetarian this next summer. But during this production, you weren't yet. And there was a restaurant near our apartment that we would walk to.
Blue Line.
Yeah, Blue, which the name gives us pause even now. But it was a pizza place in Daly City that had pretty good wings, and we would eat those wings often. So for this movie, we each got a plate of their wings, and we asked for to-go boxes, and we ate the wings there, but we took all the bones, and we brought them back in little containers, so we had a bunch of wing bones. And then I went to Safeway, and I got, like, some really gross taco meat, pre-seasoned, nasty bits of taco meat, very red, and did not smell good. But yeah, that, in with our spare copy of the baby costume, just into the washer to make the dead baby guts.
That was gross. I remember you being in our apartment, just like mixing all the bones and all the meat together like in a bowl. And then that just like sat in our fridge that night before the shoot the next day.
It might have stunk less when I mixed it, and then the next day when it was on set is when it started getting smelly.
I had to bring it to set. I don't know if you remember, you had me bring like the meat and like Fireball and a few other things from the apartment. I had to like meet you at the set with, but I had to take the bus to get there.
Take 2-2. Mark. Action.
But yeah, it's a blast. I'm still proud of it. It's a fun one. And it did well. The screening it in class, like in front of everybody, was a delight. Some people did not like it, but some people enjoyed it very much. And that's kind of what I'm going for with most of my stuff. Not everyone is going to enjoy my stuff. And that's okay.
Also, one more note about shooting it. I think it was day 2 on set was the day Stan Lee died.
Yes, that is true. And like, this was when the MCU was good. Viewers, I don't know if you remember, but like there was a time up to 2019 where like these movies were not only kind of a big deal, but like for the most part pretty reliably good, and at some points even really exceptional. Some of them were top on our best of the year list. Keep in mind we're also like high school and college students in this era, but like they were pretty fucking good at the time. So like Stan Lee dying, kind of a big deal. It definitely affected us, but we had to keep shooting.
I remember seeing the news and I was like, I'm not going to say anything to Nessie because I don't want to like break her role. But then I think you saw it like on your phone independently a little bit later.
We kept trucking. We kept on moving along. And then I guess this happened, I think even a couple of years later, Lloyd Kaufman wound up reaching out just because like he's someone who replies to every post. He like searches tags and replies to every post on the internet. But it was like, oh, you made a film, you should submit it to Troma Now. And like, okay. So I submitted it to Troma Now, the Troma streaming service, and sure enough, it got accepted. It does feel very up Troma's alley. It's still on the platform to this day. If you're a Troma fan and you have Troma Now, look up Baby Cycle, give it a watch. I make royalties off it. I think I've made 46 cents last time I've checked. They email me every year how much I've made. That's not to tarnish their streaming residuals or anything like that. I would genuinely be surprised if 10 people have watched it on Troma Now, but it's there.
Let's get that number to a full $1.
If I ever make $20, I'm allowed to cash out. As of now, I cannot cash out the 46 cents I've earned. So if you have Troma Now, watch Baby Cycle.
Make it happen, internet. It's a good watch.
It is.
It's fun.
Very
I'm
good
still
watch.
proud of it.
Hey, we're back. How did it go?
Fine. Everything went fine.
Glad to hear it.
You know what this stupid piece of shit did, Mom? He put me in the fucking washing machine.
I like Baby Cycle. One of my 2 big student films of college, and I'm proud of it to this day. I would show it to people to this day, so give it a watch.
And with that, we probably have to wrap it up for this recording.
We didn't even quite make it through Metalcorn, sadly.
There's actually quite a bit to go.
But that was a solid, I'd say a third of our work, maybe. A solid first third.